Hello, my name is Joellen Litz. I'm a commissioner in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. And right now we're going through a pandemic. A lot of ladies in the area are seamstresses from a long time ago, and they've all asked what they can do to help. And we came upon creating masks because the ones that are for surgery and things like that are confiscated, so to speak, for the doctors, which is understandable, that are caring. And we have first responders going out and responding. We have nursing homes where people are a little bit afraid of for their health. So we're all going to try and make some masks that another nurse recommended a procedure. So here's where we're coming together as a community and sewing masks for our first responders and nursing homes and nonprofits providing services. I'm trying to make some masks here for volunteers who are first responders or nurses and well, not necessarily doctors, but for use in nursing homes. And what I found here is an old flannel sheet that I had in the closet. It seems in pretty good condition. And so I'm going to cut some squares, or not squares, rectangles from this in order to make masks. And what I need for an adult mask is a piece that is 9 inches across. And if I can get one more out there. And we'll do another run down lower so we have a line. Well, that's on the dark. That's not going to work. So we have to come down 6 inches because each piece should be 6 by 9 inches. I think I'll leave that hem off because that'll be too thick. And maybe we'll make 2 rows right away. Okay, and I also cut some fabric, which I'm going to use to make the masks that I had. Some red for the firemen. Thought that would go. And the inside and outside is red, white, and blue. I don't know that it matches, but that doesn't matter. I have a piece left that's 8 inches across. So this one I'm going to cut down and make a child's mask out of it later, just because I don't want to waste the material. But what we're going to do is make sure we put the 2 right sides together to start. Luckily, I had a stash of elastic in my sewing box. So we need to cut some 7-inch pieces, either round and or 1/8 inch wide if it's flat. That's not the case, so we'll just have to make do because the stores are closed. What we're going to do is decide which is top and which is bottom. So I'm just going to say that the paisleys will go down, and we're going to need 2 strips of the 7 inches. So we want to take and put the one in the one corner and pin it in place, and then take the other end and put it to the other corner, and pin it in place. need a second piece for the other side to do the exact same thing. We're going to place that, if you can see that, into the corner there so that it's going to be out of the way when it's turned right side out and not make a big mess. And then we're going to take that same piece of elastic and put it to the bottom corner and pin that in place. And you may want to stick just a couple of pins in between to hold the material while you're sewing. And the idea is that in the end you're going to have about a 2-inch opening in the center on the bottom. So what we want to do is start sewing, and I will probably go this way. Sew to the corner, and when you get to the corner you'll feel the elastic there. You want to go back and forth several times and then sew down to the next corner. Make sure that's flat and you're not sewing that into the seam. Back and forth several times, and then you want to come all the way across the top, and you're going to go to this corner and sew back and forth a couple of times, come down to the last corner, sew back and forth a couple of times, and go over here and remember to leave your 2-inch opening, because then you will turn it right side out. And I've already prepared some 9-inch wide by 6-inch high pieces of material that I have pinned together with elastic straps inside. Now when we get to the corner, what we want to do is make sure that we go back and forth a couple of times. I'm going to turn it on an angle here. Because what we have there is elastic on that corner, and I can feel it underneath inside that it's nice and flat. We always stop with our needle down in the material. Those of you who took home ec, I did back in 1960s, so we have to remember our basic skills. And now we are at the top of the mask on the other side, and we're going to start. Now we're going to go down to that last corner. Corner number 4. And turn it a bit at an angle. And turn it to the last. Now remember, we don't want to close it up completely. We want to leave a 2-inch gap so we can turn this right side out. Okay, so now I'm going to pull it out and cut the strings. That normally what you do is cut that tip off so it lays flatter when you turn it inside out. Just a little extra step that might make the finished product a little nicer. Not that looks are everything here, because it's really about not getting all those germs from the coronavirus. So now we're going to try and turn it in and out. It doesn't feel quite as fat. Oh, that's much better. And there you can see my plastic edge. So I'm going to pull down here to the next corner, turn that inside out. Here it comes. There we go. And then we're going to turn this side out here. Okay, there we go. We have two more edges coming out, and that works out really nicely that it pulls out. So now what we have is the right sides facing out, and we have the elastic on the edges. And what we have to do is, of course, we're going to sew this shut, but in the process what we're going to do also is we want to pleat this 3 times on the sides, or like this. And so we want to pin each one of those pleats. This will make room for your nose inside. There we go, we have 3. Now we want to go to the other side and make sure that we fold them to the same direction. So I want to go like this because my pleats are going down. And the 3rd pleat. Okay, everything's pinned in place. We're going to go back to sewing. And I'm going to start at the bottom center where it is not, where the opening was. And what we will do, make sure our pleats are laying flat. And this is going to be a little thick here, so you have to hold them in place when you take the pin out to sew over. They do recommend that you go around twice, since these are made to, we'll go around a second time. These are made to reuse and wash every night, so we want to make sure nothing comes apart and that they hold up. Goes a little faster the second time. I'm not worried about the pins. Back to the point of origin. Okay, now let's cut those strings. Ladies, we have our first completed mask. You can see there's a little bit of a place in there for your nose to go, and our ends, we can even try it on. Perfect. Okay, your turn. Make those masks, and when they're done, if you want to drop them off on my front porch, 2302 Guilford Street in West Lebanon, and I will see that they get to the appropriate places. We have 2 fire companies, and we have a nursing home asking for masks at this point, and so we'll try and fill those orders, and if we can, like the fire companies might need, they have about 20 members, so they should each get 2 masks so that they can wash and dry them each night, and then switch off and on between 2 masks. And then for the nursing homes, there's a bed of 200 they're looking for. So you can see we have a lot of sewing to do. I can't do it alone. I need your help. This is a way we can all do something and give back. And if you're home and you're not working and you have scrap material or you have sheets that are in good condition, flat sheets are great. As you saw, I had a flannel flat sheet for the backing. The inside is flannel, the outside is real tight woven cotton. And if you have new material, great, but you can also recycle some of your sheets that are in good condition or pillowcases. And when you, what I will do when I get them is spray both sides with hydrogen peroxide. So if you're making one for a family member at home, the hydrogen peroxide, after you wash them, after they're thoroughly dried, will help to sanitize it and help to keep the bugs at bay the best we can. There's no guarantee that this will keep them all out. It's not the N95 masks that are worn by surgeons, but it is something to keep the coughing particles from coming at you, or if you're in a vicinity when someone coughs, that it's not going directly onto your mucous membranes at your nose and your mouth and your eyes, things like that. So, of course, sunglasses or some kind of glasses, safety glasses would be good as well. That's all I have for now, so thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you're going to help with this army of women who are making masks to supply to our first responders and our elderly citizens in need. Thank you.